Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph, and if you're not new, thank you for coming back. In today's video, as you can see, we are doing the outside of my house, which has been very much neglected. Look at the state of that wall, fence. And yeah, it is filled with rubbish, toys that are no longer used or are just beyond dirty. And yeah, it's not a great first impression of your house because this is the route that people use to get into my house. And so I thought today's the day we're going to do this. Now I have tried for about 3 weeks to get this voiceover done for you guys. This video was recorded over the course of 3 different days about a month ago. It was kind of done at the start of the summer holidays, and the summer holidays are now over. Now, if you were in my live lately, you will know that I did intend on keeping original audio in this. I thought, great, it'll be ASMR because there'll be sounds of, gardening. But Lily and Kai are helping me do this, and it turned out that we just sound like chipmunks the entire time. We must have been talking quite a lot. I had to have Kai pick up that stuff there because that was polystyrene, and anybody that knows me knows I cannot stand the sound of polystyrene. It just makes me feel sick. So I have never done gardening in my life, like ever. So this is the first time I ever do proper gardening. And I bought power tools especially for it. I always get an idea in my head of wanting to do something and then go on an absolute shopping binge, which is probably, I shouldn't do that, but it's also quite fun to be like, yes, I have this new project. What can I get for it? And so I went and bought power tools. Power tools are scary. That was me busting the tire on that bike with this power tool. So when I bought this, I believed it was some sort of so I watch a lot of gardening channels, and I thought this was like the strimmer and the edger because that's what it kind of advertised as. And it comes with different heads. So right now, because the grass is so thick, I got the metal head on it but I'm too scared to go too low to the ground in case it hits off stuff. Like, I'm absolutely petrified. So it doesn't look like I'm making much progress on the grass because I'm not. Like, I'm so scared of hitting this pole, which, by the way, I don't know where you are, but where we are, this is called a whirligig, the thing that I hang my washing on. So yeah, I started doing that, and then Kai had a little shot, and I was just like, nope, let's move on to something else because I wanted to see progress, but also I was so scared. Power tools are scary. So now I've got this little mini hedge trimmer to try and get rid of the ivy. And let me tell you, on the first day of this clean, this is what took up all my time, was getting rid of the ivy. It is so annoying and invasive, and like it looks amazing. When I was cutting it down, I was kind of like, oh, secret garden vibes. Sorry, there's the phone notification. So you guys will kind of see what I mean when I move on to the other side of this fence, which is like the outside of my garden. But I didn't realise, this ivy, first of all, my gate is broken and I'm pretty sure the ivy is a contributing factor. But second of all, it's actually started going into my neighbours' gardens, which that's when you know it's a problem because, if it wants to invade my garden, fair enough. But when it starts becoming a problem for other people, I'm like, okay, gotta deal with this now. And at the time of me recording the voiceover, most of the ivy has grown back. It grows so quickly. Yeah, to be honest, I only cut it because I was sick of getting hit in the face every time I came in my garden. But yeah, so I'm using this little hedge trimmer, which again, scary, but it was working. It was cutting it, but it doesn't cut the really thick bits. I need like some sort of chainsaw. He was Madison coming home and she was like, what are you doing? But yeah, wait till you see the other side of this. I really wanted to leave it because it was, The Secret Garden is one of my favourite books from when I was younger. And I have a funny story about it, actually. So I have a little scar on my thumb pad on my right hand. And when I was younger, my stepdad was hammering nails into conkers for us because I don't know if anybody's ever played the game conkers, but you put a shoelace through the conker and then you like bash each other's conkers off each other. I don't know if they're called conkers anywhere else. I think they're like chestnuts. That could be totally wrong. I don't know if they're chestnuts. Anyway, and so he was doing that so we could do it. And also if you wanted to like win at the game, you could cheat and like put nail varnish on the conker and stuff. But anyway, so he was doing that. And then he had to go and do something, and I'm sitting in my room reading The Secret Garden, and my younger brother and sister my younger brother is 1 year younger than me, and then my sister, there was 3 years younger than me. So there was just us at the time. Kevin wasn't born yet. And they were like, oh, you never finished. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? You know, when people just like pressure you and you just want to read your book. And so I was like, fine, I'll do it. But I had taken away the hammer. So stupidly, what I did, like I might be intelligent, but I obviously lack common sense, because what I did was put this 4-inch nail facing up the way, put the conker in my hand, and then pressed down on the nail with all my weight, and the nail went straight through the conker and straight through my hand, and it just didn't come out the other side of my hand. And then my brother was shouting down the stairs to my mum, like, Steph has a nail in her hand, and my mum thought he meant like, a fingernail. And then she's seen it, and I'm just like numb. I think I was in shock. And so they took me to the emergency room, and they all took photos and everything of it because they hadn't seen this before. And I think I have the photo somewhere. I'm going to need to hunt it out to show you guys. But anyway, and then I was given laughing gas, and it was the first time I'd ever had laughing gas. And so when I like went under with this laughing gas, all I could see was like Mickey Mouse and Pluto. And I was like, why? I woke up, I was like, why was that where my imagination took me? And it was because there was like Mickey Mouse and Pluto stickers on the ceiling. And so it was the last thing I seen before, going under. Anyway, that was a completely unrelated story. As you can see, Kai absolutely loves being on camera. He like talks to you guys all the time, but I normally just cut the audio out. He was going to join me on this voiceover, but he does have a little bit of a speech impediment, so I wasn't sure if like that would be a good voiceover, because I didn't know if he would come across very well, if he would be able to be understood. And he is cute as a button, but his voice can also be very grating, and I say that from a place of love. Anyway, so as you've seen, I had to destroy my secret garden wall, which was very sad. But like where I'm standing now in the video, that's my neighbour's garden on that side, so I'm just trying to get the ivy like out of their garden. And then I was just doing my best to get as much of it off as I could. And then Kai, he likes using the secateurs. I think that's how you say it. It's quite a nice word, actually, secateur. So yeah, he uses them under supervision. He did have a little shot of the different power tools. Also, do not wear dungarees when doing this kind of work. The number of branches that ended up down my dungarees, and like it was really uncomfortable. It was like the worst outfit choice. I thought, I looked like a farm girl and it would be great, and I'd be like, I looked like a gardener, I just needed wellies and a straw hat. But no, it's terrible clothing choice. I don't know what other people do, but honestly, there was so much stuff ended down my top. And then at this point, I'm just like, why will I not cut? And just doing my best to hammy away at it. And then Lily, she just wanted to wash windows. I don't know why, it was her thing at the time. So I think that's what I sent her to do. And our goal is obviously progress, not perfection, not trying to get, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm winging it. I was like, as long as it looks better when we're done. To be honest, I want to cut the ivy away completely. Like, I know you need to cut it at the root so it stops growing, but I just don't have a tool to do that. However, I'm pretty sure my neighbour his job is something to do with gardens. So I'm going to ask him if he has something that I can use. And then we're just kind of tidying up. My brown bin has like never been used in the entire time that I've lived here, because we never do any gardening. Like, I've hired gardeners a couple of times, but in this financial situation, it's just, I can't afford to do that. Also, Kai wants to be a gardener. Kind of. He always changes his mind. He just likes helping people and serving people. Anytime we go out for dinner anywhere, he's like, this is what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a waiter. I want to serve people drinks. And when we were on holiday, he just kept like going to the self-serve bar and being like, can I get a Coke or whatever it was that other people wanted, and then bringing them to you. And then when you finished your drink, he'd be like, oh, you're finished? You need another drink? And he'd go and get you another one, because he just likes serving people. So then now when I was like doing the garden, he was so enthusiastic. He was asking me every single day if we could do the garden. I felt a little bad because I don't always have the energy for it, especially if I'm trying to get stuff done around the house. I can't do the house and the garden. So anyway, because what he wants to do is he wants to do the free cleans with us when he's older, but that won't be possible. So it's great that he's getting into gardening, because maybe he could clean up the outside of people's properties while we're doing the inside, and then he wouldn't be subject to all the germs that would be he would be subject to inside the houses. So I'm kind of gonna lead him down that pathway if that's what he wants to do, because I think he would be very good at like a physical job like gardening and helping people. You know, if a little old lady wants her grass cut, he'd be just the man for it. So anyway, do you know when we watch garden videos, I always really like it when they pick all the ivy off of the front of houses, and they always make it look so easy. Like all the gardening channels make gardening look so easy, and I'm just like, yeah, you just need to get the tools and then it's so easy to do. I was very, very wrong. Like I watch videos and then I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Let's do this. Like I've been watching furniture flipping videos because a friend of mine does furniture flipping and she like paints them, like decorates them and things. And I was like, so now I'm just kind of interested and want to learn everything I can about that. So I've been watching furniture flipping videos and I watch it and I'm like, yeah, that looks easy. I could do that. But I can't. I don't want to. It's just interesting watching it and thinking that you can do it. Like when I was younger, I think I've told this story, but when I was younger, I watched this movie called Sleepover and then thought I could like rock around on a skateboard, which I was terrible at. But don't tell Madison that because I've got her fully believing that I could skateboard as a child. There was another thing. What was that I watched? Bend It Like Beckham. Has anybody seen that movie with the female footballer? I watched that movie and then played football for like 3 months. Anyway, this ivy honestly took the entire day and it looked so much better when it was done. I also noticed I have ivy on the other side of the garden, but my neighbour on that side is the one that kind of keeps up on that because I don't know if it's because I think it's already been cut on my side. Oh, here comes my husband. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I was interrupted doing the voiceover and now no idea what I was talking about. So it was probably rubbish. Let's move on. We're kind of nearing the end of day 1 now. So our goal was to focus on the ivy to try and clear this path because it's not very pleasant for like the post people who are delivering the post. I say people because we don't often actually get a postman. It's often a postwoman or gender neutral, who knows. Anyway, it's not very nice for them if they come in and get whacked in the face by ivy as well. So the goal was to try and clear the path a little bit. Now, this is now another day. I think this was all kind of done within a 2-week period, what was done. And the goal here is we are trying to get rid of everything out of the garden. So 90% of the stuff in this garden is no longer used or is broken and is going to the dump. So me, Kai and Lily are removing everything out of the garden and then my husband then takes it up to the car and takes it to where it needs to go. Some of the toys were able to get donated, but like this what is it called, like water table, the bikes are kind of no good. They're all rusted and broken, and like you see me do, I bust the tire on one of them as well. But like the slide and the water table and this couple of scooters, I think they can get donated. Now, I thought this was a lawnmower, but it's not. It's kind of like the strimmer but in the shape of a lawnmower, if that makes sense. I think it's called like a hover mower or something like that. Now, it does cut the grass, but it doesn't cut the grass the way that I thought a lawnmower would cut the grass. Now, I've never used this. My husband's used it like one time. He's really not very DIY. Like, he doesn't do the garden, anything like that. He does a lot of other things, but that's not within his repertoire, so to speak. That police car that you just seen me push out, that was when Madison was little. So I've had that police car for about 10 years, but Lily's not interested and she's the only one that would kind of fit in that. And then I don't know why, but I just have a thing. I get a swimming pool out, like a paddling pool out, and then they use it for a few hours and then it just lives there from then on. And then I just have to buy a new paddling pool. It's so wasteful, but I don't know what it is. I always struggle to then get it away again. I'm like, ugh, because usually we get it out on a hot day. You spend all the effort of filling it up and putting it out, and then they play in it for a couple of hours. And then by the end of the day, you're exhausted and you don't want to put it away again. So then you leave it out in the hopes that they can use it the next day. And then that doesn't happen. And then it just lives there and out of sight, out of mind. I always forget about it. I had one paddling pool that was in my other, like the back garden that we no longer use, that basically lived there for about 1.5 years until I hired a gardener and had no choice but to get rid of it so he could garden. But yeah, Kai is wanting us to do the back garden next because it is an overgrown jungle. It's actually insane. It's like 10 times worse than this one. But I said, we had to do more of this one first. So every time he was like, can we move to the back garden? I was like, let's just keep focusing on this one because there's still so much we can do. Like even now, at the end of this video, like it's a huge, huge improvement, but there's still so much more to be done. And I think I've shared with you guys my plan, like what I want to do. So we can, as you can see, I'm not very good at gardening. I don't like gardening. And also this garden is on a slope. So we can't even like build a trampoline or anything because it's not flat. You can't tell here, but it slopes upwards towards the shed. And then it's also probably not as big as it looks on the camera. It's like quite small. So anyway, so it doesn't really leave much options. Now I want it to be as low maintenance as possible, but still look great. So I'm kind of thinking, colours and ornaments and I don't know, like pretty things. So I see loads of things on Pinterest, like stone patterns, pathways, and rainbow lights, and all of the things. I want to do all the things, but I don't know how to do all the things. So really, what I was thinking is just digging up all the plants down the sides. Like I know it sounds horrible because it's like, oh, garden and the bees and the animals and the wildlife and the freshness. Like I want all of that, but I don't want it because then it's just hard to keep up on top of. So I'm thinking, I want a plastic garden. That sounds horrible. I don't want a plastic garden, but I feel like at this time in my life, that would probably be the best idea. Kai wants us to grow things and I would love it. I seen this thing, it was like Pepper Pots, I think it was called, and they send you out something every month for you to grow. I don't know if they do it here because I'm sure I looked into it, but I want to do something like that. However, we can't grow it in this garden. We'd have to get plant pots for the back garden or an allotment or something because, first of all, cats come in this garden all of the time and I don't trust that they won't like pee on everything. But then also because of Xander, a lot of things, like if we were to grow any fruit or vegetables, he would just eat them. And if we were to grow flowers, then they can be poisonous. So it kind of limits our options. The gate is broken, but we do semi-fix it so that it can at least open and shut. And then, yeah, we're just doing what we were doing and tidying up. The kids were very good at doing all the clearing, and Kai likes doing the digging. He does amazing weeding. So you see these steps where you guys are sitting? He does all the weeding for these steps. Like all this at the bottom, right behind where he's standing right now. Does absolutely amazing. And I'm just kind of going around making small differences all over the place. Also, it was so hot. So hot. We were all sweating like crazy. But yeah, back to pretty gardening stuff. So I was thinking, and I don't know if it's going to look stupid, but I was thinking, see how I have this fence with like the different slats? I want to do a rainbow. Like I want to just paint the whole garden like rainbow colours. But I'm like, is that too much? Is that going to look silly? I don't know. But pastel rainbow colours. So not like bright, bold in your face, more like muted, because they'll fade away in the rain anyway. But then I thought that might look silly on the outside. So on the outside, I might just paint it normal brown or green or something. So when you're looking at the garden, it just looks like a normal garden. And then you come inside and it's like, ooh, magic. That's what I'm thinking. And then I do want to buy the bricks and paint them to look like books and things like that. And then, I don't know, maybe make like a little rock waterfall. I have big ideas in my head, I just don't know how to implement them. And then it's making me like frozen. So like nothing is getting done. So I'm like, yeah, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. So we don't do any of it. So I don't know. I need help. Somebody make me a list or give me some ideas. What can I do? I really like the idea of like hammering little like bird houses or fairy houses onto the fence. And what I really wanted to do when the children were younger was have like sensory things on the fence, but my kids are all a bit older now, so that would not be like, it would be pointless. Well, I guess that slide didn't get donated because my husband's destroying it. It was probably just really dirty anyway. Yeah, so Kai is doing his little gardening thing. He wasn't really into like this bit, I think, because he just really likes using the cutters. I think that's the thing. And also he did not like the gardening gloves because we have what's called there's a horrible nickname for them. I think it's like sticky willies or something like that. That's probably completely wrong, but it's something inappropriate, and it's a name for like these little sticky teeny ball things that grow on this really long sticky vine, and they all got stuck to his gloves, and he hated it. He hated it so much. So I said, well, why don't you get some rubber gloves? But the only rubber gloves we had were these like kitchen gloves. So I can't wear those particular ones that he's got on anyway because my hands react to them. So he is using them for gardening. So they're now his gardening gloves. And I think he still has like normal gardening gloves underneath them to help protect from like actual thorns and things. But yeah, and I don't actually know what these other viney things are. I mean, I don't know what any of the plants are in my garden. I couldn't tell you a single one of them. But I don't know if I'm going to rip out like the bushes. I think when we're weeding, I don't know what's a plant and what's a weed. Although the definition of a weed is apparently just something growing in an undesirable place. So technically, my whole garden's a weed because it's all growing in an undesirable place. But no, so when I'm weeding, I'm trying to just kind of get rid of all the green and leave the brown. If it comes up easy, it's coming up. If it doesn't, then maybe it's supposed to be there. That was kind of my thoughts on it. I think there's like apps you can do where you like take a photo of the thing and it tells you what it is. I'll maybe look into that actually. But yeah, so I'm probably going to keep like these big bush things and the other like bigger ones that look like they're supposed to be here, but then just weed around them. And even if it means I'm digging up like little flowers and things, I'll probably just get rid of them anyway. As you can see, we kind of jump around the garden a little bit. There's no like set plan or anything like that. And also I still need to clear like around the shed, all the stuff that's around the shed. And I also do need to do the inside of the shed again because it's been a while since I did that and it's a complete mess again. So what I was thinking for the shed is to be honest, it needs a new roof and I need to like damp proof it. So I don't know. I do want to paint the shed, but I was thinking if I'm painting the fence with like multicolours, I'll probably just paint the shed a normal neutral colour. Like I'll probably just repaint it green or something because I just think that might be too much if that's also rainbow. But then maybe I'll just do the fence normal colours and paint the shed rainbow just to have that pop of colour. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. This was, I think, Kai's favourite section to do because like he really enjoyed doing the weeding around the steps and it made a huge difference. And then I don't know what's going on with my grass right now. Like the grass is, it's like it's not grass. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like really thick, like viney grass. So I was thinking I'm probably going to have to cut it right down to the bone and then plant grass seed or something. I want to get rid of these trellises as well, or like plant fake flowers up them. My husband's a dog walker and I was in the car when he had to go and pick up one of his dogs the other day, and we arrived outside this house and they had like fake plants going up the trellis and it looked amazing. I'm like, I feel kind of, it's hard because I feel guilty like replacing like real flowers with fake flowers, but also I'm like, oh, but just low maintenance. It's a battle that I'm waging within myself. So anyway, I'm just kind of using, this was what I tried. So before I get onto that story, I tried so hard to do this myself. Like that's why there's already string around it, but I wasn't strong enough to lift the fence. And then like me and Kai were trying to guide the nails back in place and it just wasn't possible. So I needed my husband to lift it. So unfortunately, strong independent women could not do it alone. I did need a man, but it got done. And then I thought, well, that'll be it. But unfortunately, it's not. I need a new fence post for that gate to fully open and shut properly. But it's better than it was. I asked my husband to put the lawnmower away, so we just picked up and started carrying it away. I was like, well, you need to unplug it, babe. It was funny. I felt so bad for him because he was like away working and he just keeps coming back and seeing me do projects and getting roped into helping me. So down that left side, see this little grassy patch down here between the path and the slabs? That's not supposed to have any green in it at all. That's actually stones. Now, how am I supposed to weed that without pulling up all the stones? It's impossible. You tell me. What I thought is like the strimmer thing that I bought. I thought, because you know what, when I watch them doing it, they do it over concrete and it gets rid of all the grass in between the concrete. I don't know how to do that. I need to replace the metal blade in it because that's too scary for me. I just can't do it. I need to replace that with the plastic one and then have another turn and see how that pans out. So we can try that and see. And then Lily was really wanting a job which wasn't just cleaning up, because it was hard to give her jobs that didn't involve tools that are going to hurt her, because obviously when I'm also working it's harder to keep an eye on her. And these two toys are going away, but they didn't fit in my husband's car on this day, so that's why they're back in the garden. And I think we were running late for something by this point, so we're trying to like tidy up and leave. And then we all go in the house and shut the door and then remember the cameras out there, and I come back for you guys. And this is the third and final day. Now, one of the reasons that I was trying to, like, that was taking so long to do the garden was because my tumble dryer is broken and I was doing so well at hanging washing out that I was like wary about trying to do gardening and have the garden and grass blowing all over the washing. But I was getting hounded so much by Kai, I was like, right, let's go and do some more gardening. And check Lily out. So she's on cleanup crew. Look at how she was doing it. Don't you just love the way that children's brains work? So rather than just picking it up, she was using her little rake that I got her, and then like forking it up. It was amazing. And she realised it was a bit difficult to carry on doing it that way. So then she started doing it this way. So right now we're just kind of tidying up the remnants of the previous days of gardening. I think this was like at least a week later. And then, so we kind of tidy it all up. And then we do my favourite part of the garden. So my favourite part that I feel made the biggest difference, apart from the ivy, was the bin area, because the rest of the garden's all tidy of toys. It just really needs like actual gardening done. But the bin area was disgusting. There was like stuff put outside that needed to go in bins that didn't fit, so it got put behind the bins ready to go another day, and that day just never came. And so yeah, wait till you see it. It's coming up soon. And then I bought a power washer thing and it didn't work. So I try it and it works a little bit, but I think because I need some sort of cleaning chemical to do that and see if that works. I don't know. I need to look into it, like, because when you watch the gardening videos, like I say, they make everything look so easy. It's like, I really like watching people power washing, and I thought, you know, all my garden is all grey and dingy looking, and there's steps and there's lots of concrete, and I was like, it's going to look amazing when I power wash it. And then I did power wash some of it, and I was like, this was not the, like, you know, when you see those memes and it's like expectation versus reality. Well, the reality did not meet the expectation, and I was very disappointed. So yeah, so this is my favourite area, and I don't know why I just kept moving the bins back and forward rather than just moving them out of the area completely. And then Kai was doing his little weeding, because these are definitely all weeds. I mean, they're growing literally out of the concrete, but he couldn't get like a bit out, and so I was like, oh, I wonder if that's what this tool is for, because I bought a bag of tools but I have no idea what any of them are for. And I was like, oh, this looks like it would work, and I went and got this little weird thin fork thing, and I got it out. It's really cool. Also, I've been reading this fan fiction. It's called Perfectly in Pieces. It's a Dramini fan fiction. As you all know, that's what I like to read. But the one that I'm watching has Theo in it, and he's had a lot of trauma, right? And there was an incident that happened involving a fork from his childhood. And so now he can't use forks. And so now whenever there's something like that one of the characters like can't do, and it's like due to trauma, they say this is a fork for me, so meaning like this is like a non-negotiable, like I can't do this kind of thing. And I just love that. So now whenever I think of like things that I struggle with, I'm like, yeah, this is a fork for me, like it's just not going to happen kind of thing. And I don't know, I just really like that term. So this, like I say, was my favorite area, but there's also like there's mud and stones here, so it was difficult to try and get like the rubbish and the weeds and the old leaves and the dirt and stuff out of it without like moving all the stones and everything. So that's why I was thinking, you know, power washing would probably help with that, but we'll need to see, I guess. The rake helped a little bit. And then this, like, I think this flower bush, I don't know what it's called. I think I do know the name of those flowers, but off the top of my head I can't remember. So I just pruned this. I think that's what it's called, when you kind of trim away like the dead bits or the bits that are growing too long and stuff, and it's looking great now. But my problem is I need to like tie it up or something because they're growing like out the way. But yeah, it's looking really good. So I think next spring that's probably going to flower really well. I did kind of want to get as much of this garden done as I could before winter, but we're kind of getting really unpredictable weather now. Like some days it's like absolutely amazing sunshine, and then the next day it's like pouring rain. So I don't know if I'll even be able to paint my fence like this year because the weather's too unpredictable now. And also I'll probably like do it the traditional way with a paintbrush, not a spray paint. I felt really silly here, like, because I was obviously sweeping up mud in a garden, but it really did make all the difference. I feel like a sense of pride now. See, when I walk into my garden, I'm like seeing the difference. But you know what? Annoyingly, I'm so sorry, but I didn't take any after photos for you guys. And then by the time I realised, it was like 2 weeks later and everything's kind of started growing back. So I was like, I'm not taking after photos now because it looks like I've not done anything. I mean, it doesn't. It does still look hugely better. But I thought you got to see the close-up of everything getting done. So even if you don't get to see the overall after photos, it'll still be fine because you kind of seen it all get tidied up. But yeah, Kai was so funny at this bit because he really doesn't like spiders and bugs. Like really, really doesn't. And I don't like spiders, but if I'm outside, it's not as bad because, you know, it's a big open space and I know they live outside. And so he was doing this area and then he came across this tiny, tiny spider and he was like, nope, I'm out. That's me done. And that was just it. He wasn't doing it anymore. So I'm laughing because just the memory of it, it was hilarious. He was so funny. And then I'm just kind of giving you glimpses of what they were all up to while I was doing that. And then, yeah, we prune this a little bit and I think that's then it. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I got done. That flower pot was so heavy. I think it's made of concrete or something. I don't know. But yeah, so we still, like I say, we still have lots to do in this garden. And I did want to wait until there was like a finished result for you guys. But I thought, you know, there's absolutely no point because it's one of those things where there is never a finished result, is there? It's like a work in progress. So this was us attempting the power washer and it just didn't work as what I thought it would. Like, where's the grind lines? Where's the satisfying, like, yeah, where's the result? So then I thought maybe I need to scrub it a little. So then Kai had a shot and the green bit, and then I poured some bleach, which was probably bad for the flowers and stuff, but I was like, well, I don't have anything else, so let's see. And it does work a little bit, but again, like nothing compared to what I was expecting. So I really wasn't very happy. I don't know if it's just because it's a crap power washer or if it's because I need to get some sort of special solution. But yeah, and then Kai was determined that he wanted a shot. So at this point, I was like, well, it's not really working, but I just let them have a little shot in front of the window, but I don't do all the path and everything like planned because there's no point. And then this last like 40 odd seconds is just them having a little play and they were really funny because they were like wetting each other, but I had to say like, no, let's not spray each other with it. Anyway, that is the end of the video, just them playing around. Thank you so much for watching. This is obviously a little bit different to the usual at home content, but it's still my house and it's still at home and it's still my family. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.